Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
I felt like it was an appropriate warning for our show.
I'd say so. All right.
Little beach monkey. I like it.
Yeah. No, I definitely found that one. I was like, that one works. That sounds like a cool one.
I give it 4 extension cables out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we need extension cord cables.
Yeah, we do.
We literally have only one pair of headphones right now.
Yeah, you want it back? Here you go.
Here, yeah, I guess.
Oh man, it feels a lot less like we're doing a podcast when you're not wearing the headphones. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I know. It's much more of just a conversation.
Yeah.
Like you're just hanging out, which is probably what we should be doing.
Yeah, it's probably a little more casual for me this way. So this is the official Sausage Fest podcast.
Yeah, this is the boys back in town.
Welcome to Smoking or Non-Smoking. We are your captains today.
Ding. That's the same sound as the door from the last episode.
You're free to move about my asshole.
The masks won't drop down. We don't have bags to provide for puke.
Under your seat is a gun to fucking off your... Whoa.
All right.
Whoa. Whoa. Excuse me.
Who had suicide within 2 minutes on their bingo sheet?
Yeah, it's like when I was talking to my dad on the phone the other day. And
I
like
know.
15 minutes in, and I was like, we're talking about his butt and his asshole and poop, and I'm like, oh, wow. Only took us 15 minutes to get back to this.
On the
come back to this
last
topic.
episode, we talked about butt stuff, and you were like, this is just like when I talked with my dad. Yeah, we totally have been over that you and your dad got to get through the butt talk, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it tracks at least.
My dad hates butt talk. He wouldn't let me joke about poop or pee or any of that kind of shit growing up.
No toilet humor at the dinner table.
Yeah, he wasn't about it. I'm gonna
Has
take
he
the
ever
headphones
said that
off,
exact
too.
phrase to you?
I'm gonna take them off. Let's go fucking suicidal with it.
It's twice now.
Oh shit! Bingo. Oh, I did
Double
want to.
Jeopardy.
I think we need to give a big shout out to the Lightning for winning.
Oh yeah!
Congratulations.
Congrats, Lightning. All it took was us moving out of Florida for them
Yes.
to do well. I think we talked about that on the last podcast.
Oh, we definitely did. I think we should congratulate Lightning until they're not the winners.
Until next year.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
end
We'll
of the
just give
next
them a
Stanley
shout
Cup
out
final.
every time.
Even if they get knocked out of like the playoffs early on and they have no chance in the running, we still are just like, congratulations.
It's literally like Trump writing it out as long as he could until he literally wasn't president by
Didn't
law.
he literally go on a victory tour for like most of the first year of his presidency tour?
Oh
The
yeah.
presidency.
Do you remember the fucking numbers of I had the biggest inaugural event of all time,
Oh
and
yeah,
then the
and then
photos
all the
in
photos
comparison.
that would come out. Yeah.
It's so funny. And even if that isn't like, I mean, I could see somebody taking a picture really early in the morning and then being like, this was the whole crowd. But still, it's a fucking great troll.
Yeah.
Because if you claim you have the greatest crowd, someone's just going to make it look like you did, for sure. Like, it's too... Woodstock probably had more people. Come on.
Probably, I would hope so.
Dude, and
At
they
least
had,
the Rage Against the Machine one did. Or not Rage, sorry, Limp Bizkit one.
that was Woodstock 99. Yeah, that was when they set shit on fire, dude.
Yeah, boy.
That Woodstock, just like the original, both smoking and non-smoking. Just like our podcast. I have so many like random Woodstocky gifts from my family. They know I love
Yeah,
shit
and you've
from
got
that era.
That EP
I have
up there.
that vinyl twice because
Really?
my brother and my dad found it in record shops and were like, Evan would love this.
Do you think it's a rare one?
I have no clue, but I have one in really bad condition and one in really good condition. So
Is that the good condition one or the bad one?
I think that's the bad one, honestly. It's
I
like
was gonna
ripped
say,
at the
I hope
sides.
so.
and
It
shit.
doesn't look the best.
Dude, I do have the Bill Cosby one up there.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is that?
Maybe that's what got him out of jail.
Yeah, they saw my record up there and they were like, he's got at least one fan.
Yeah.
If he stays in jail, it's an injustice to this one fan.
all on you, man. You have to go on an apology tour now.
Yeah, dude, are you gonna buy tickets to Bill Cosby's first comedy shows back? Could you imagine? I mean, what if he does go on tour? I don't know if he is, but would
that man could survive a tour at this point? He's kind of getting up there in age.
Oh yeah, like traveling around that much, and I mean, but he would sell out arenas just so people could see it.
Just to be like, I went to the last Bill Cosby
I watched
tour
to see
after his prison time.
Yeah, or people are gonna go to protest and all that kind of shit.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
heckle him the entire time.
they'll probably do like what all those TikTok users did. Like,
It's a drum.
yeah.
Do you
They just
remember
buy
that?
out of the stadium.
That was so great, dude. It was like so under the ground too when they did it. Like it wasn't like in the headlines until after it had happened. It's like the people didn't blow it.
Because
by-
nobody in that arena was gonna go to TikTok for that kind
Yeah.
of information.
Oh my gosh. And like it was such a good troll. And it reminds me of like the fucking Reddit Robin Hood. You know what I mean? That was a fucking just underground.
GameStop and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love this, like using the internet as our tool to get like the community to fucking beat the system one way or another.
Yeah.
I think that shit's awesome.
So speaking of like stars that are not exactly well liked anymore, we talked about Ellen DeGeneres a little bit in the kitchen
Yeah.
earlier.
Dory.
Yeah, Miss Dory.
She's just lost.
Another one on there that I had no idea was like disliked. Sean Penn. What has he done? What has Sean Penn done that's pissed everybody off now?
Oh geez, we're also now unaware. I don't know.
You don't know either?
No, I don't
shit.
know on that one.
Okay.
What?
I mean, and
did-
then there was like Johnny Depp, and I like.
Oh,
I know,
well, that one,
I know
yeah.
it's because of the whole like abuse thing, but I thought it came out that he was the abusee at this point.
Sean Penn not only threw, Kate, I want to get her name correctly, Kate Del Castillo. I think I got those two L's correctly there. Sean Penn not only threw her under the bus, the TV star said he used me as bait and then he never protected me and risked my life and my parents' life and my sister's life and everybody surrounding me. So, oh my God, Kate Del Castillo slammed Sean Penn over El Chapo meeting. Oh, it was with El Chapo?
What the fuck?
That was the...
Like the cartel kingpin?
Yeah!
Are you fucking kidding me?
Apparently, dude. Says... Yeah, Kate Del Castillo says Sean Penn's Rolling Stone story of El Chapo interview was full of shit. He used me as bait and then he never protected me. Like, oh, wow.
Do you...
So Sean Penn's fucking using women as worms, getting like cartel leaders to hang out with him, apparently. That's crazy.
Hey, El Chapo, did you get baited?
Yeah, he got, what was that show called on MTV? Catfish.
Catfished? There was like an unsuccessful show for a while. I don't know how long it lasted, but it was like basically police entrapment. I don't know how they made it into a fucking TV show where they would leave a car in like a notorious like area for like carjackings, and then they would just leave it with like the doors like unlocked. I think they would even like leave them like open and like the engine running. Like they would make it like the most appealing thing for a carjacker, and then like they had like the ability to like.
That sounds like Punked.
Yeah, they had like
Like
low
Punked
jack
for
on it,
criminals.
and they could like shut the engine down and like lock all the doors so you couldn't get out of.
That's
the
like
car and shit
arrest
like that.
tactics
Yeah,
versus the scare tactics.
It's fucking awful, right? I mean, like,
That's insane.
and then like fuck you if you're gonna jack a car, but like at the same time, it's like you're.
If you're down on
baiting
your
it.
out and you're literally okay, have you heard the sentence or it's like a phrase or a quote or whatever? It's like, ask for a job if they do not like offer you a job, or if they don't offer you a job, ask for a job. If they don't give you a job, like work for a job. If they don't then give you the job after attempting and showing your worth, just steal the bread. Like, just fucking take it. Like, there people end up at the end of their rope sometimes and shit. Like, and then, like, just thinking that you're filming that, catching people at their worst moment, breaking the law. Dude, Cops is off the air.
Is it really?
Yeah, it was because of last summer. Last summer, like, you know, cop shit was just not glorified. We kind of...
Definitely not. I could see that show's ratings going severely down.
And how bad is it that they open it with, like, a reggae song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you fucking see that they're starting to push legislation to lift the federal ban on cannabis now?
I didn't know.
You didn't see that?
No, I mean, I've heard that that's always been somebody like is pushing it and working for it, but I mean, it's looking promising is what you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Dude.
I can't speak from an amount of certainty because I'm not super good at keeping up on the
political absolutely.
arena very
but you
well.
saw an article. It's in the
no,
ether.
it wasn't even an article. It was like a full-on like press conference in the White House.
Oh, no shit.
Or something like that, yeah.
Dude, I mean, that's something that if Biden were to achieve, that's one of within my top 5 most important things any president could ever do. Like ending the war on drugs and starting with marijuana is so crucial. Literally, I mean, yeah, prisons. Like we could go onto that forever.
That was like a big part in the press conference too. As he was talking about how like, it's a big thing on like he literally kept referring to it as the failed war on drugs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then was definitely hit pretty hard on the whole like how it was definitely used to marginalize and target specifically like African American
disadvantaged communities because they're the easiest to pick up.
Yeah.
They also don't have the lawyers to fight it. I mean, there's so many different reasons why they get targeted and I just mean like lower class communities in general, and then it doesn't allow them to move further when they're just being arrested for silly shit like pot, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
Like there's dudes right now serving life for weed, and that is insane to me.
That is wild.
And Epstein got out with House Patrol or whatever. You know, he just got to hang out at the home and go back and forth to the prison to check in every now and then. Like, and there's dudes who got arrested with weed or LSD.
You could say the same thing with Cosby. Like, it's a lot of like,
that man's out. He can smoke a joint in
privilege.
some states.
I mean, like, just like being able to get away with that kind of awful shit.
Oh, I know. He could be a double criminal compared to the guy who didn't rape anybody and just had weed in like Missouri.
Right?
He like watching Bill Cosby probably like smoke a fat doob.
I mean, you have a lot of. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about.
Oh well, yeah. My specific shit and I feel very passionate about it because of my whole life becoming at risk when I got busted.
Yeah, your world was really fucking flipped upside down.
It was rocked, and it showed me like the justice system like takes that seriously. As much as I think it's a fun recreational thing to do that I want to just feel like I have the right to do, the state doesn't.
And it hit you really hard, and I'd say in terms of like how it can go down, you got off pretty easy.
I got off beyond easy. So a big part of it was the fact that I mean I did have a lot for personal use. I had like 3 ounces. That's triple amount the most you can buy in Colorado in one buying is an ounce. I've had 3 of those.
And he didn't even hit you with like the possession of alcohol as like an underage.
I had open bottles. I was in a vehicle when I got popped. And yeah, I had all of that bud and it was in a federal state park. So I got federal charges.
Yeah.
But they never mentioned the alcohol. When I went up to the place, I already had all these community service hours. I was supposed to do 80 and it's 60 already under my belt. As a sign of good faith, they were like, if you do 80, that's probably what they're going to require you. You can just get them out of the way. I only did 60 and they're like, you're good. So they didn't make me do that. And then they were also like, this is a federal court. We usually see pounds of marijuana, like huge shipments. What the fuck you doing in here, little kid? Like, get the fuck out of here. Don't smoke weed. And I was like, okay, I won't for 6 months.
And it's it's so sad too, because like that would be like that's like the optimum place to smoke too, right? Like in a fucking federal park where like
Smoky
there's
Mountains,
nature and just like beauty all around you that you can just enhance your brain to be able to appreciate even more.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a natural thing in nature.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It would be as silly as like no tea in on the hike because you know we don't want you to get too calm and then maybe you'll pass out and fall down the hill. I don't know, but yeah, no, it's fucking bullshit. I definitely, obviously the athlete thing in the Olympics is where maybe put it in the forefront, but to hear that the administration is talking about it and considering it, it has huge popular support, so it's even silly not to.
I mean, it's over 50% of the country has some form of legal marijuana.
Yeah.
I think it's in like, what is it, like the 60s or 70% is at least medicinal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, it's happening.
I mean,
During our generation.
if it hit 100% recreational, would it just be effectively lifted at that point, or would it still be like it would have to be lifted on the federal? I never really understood how like federal versus state law really worked. Like if 100% of the country had laws that were like okay
against
with it,
what the federal.
would it still be a thing?
I have no clue,
that
dude.
work?
It makes no sense. And that's my. I mean, I think the bigger the federal government, the scarier things get. They just.
Yeah, and that's why you're a Republican, right?
Dude, I don't know what I am. I'm a fucking just lost guy that loves politics and has nobody that feels like they're really explaining things to me in a realistic way that is a politician. I feel like I hear a lot of people and regular day people say things that make sense to me.
I feel like we're both centrists for the most part, right?
I think we're open. Dude,
I think
that's what it is.
You're more, you're definitely the most open-minded, like politically, that I know in person.
I think you have a lot. I think you're. I mean, maybe this is me putting a label on you, but I do think you're fairly progressive. Like, I don't think you have very many ideas that go against the people. Like, and that's usually what progressive people, they're populists. They usually like. I mean, the biggest things about the populist movement should be like unions and $15 minimum. Like that's what any populist president should be running on because it's for the people. Like those kinds of things, universal health care, legalizing marijuana, like those are all progressive things. And I don't see you not being in favor of those.
I mean,
and I am too.
That's how much of it is like I always want to self-check on that too. Like how much is it selfish desire? Like the minimum wage thing. I work typically minimum wage jobs. How much is that a selfish desire at that point?
I think that when you see the like stacks and stacks of data that prove that inflation has happened and income has not even began to reflect the same kind of rise. Like the cost of living is just significantly higher than it was. The amount of hoops that we go through and the amount of what living is today. I mean, some people's wages haven't raised in 10 or 15 years, while the dollar has done nothing but. Like, even just comparing what food and fast food, groceries, what all those things were 10, 20 years ago compared to what they are now, some people's salaries have not raised $1. Yeah. Like, and minimum rate hasn't in a long time in a lot of states.
It's like today I went and bought enough like produce and shit to make 2 meals. I bought food to make the meal tonight that I plan on making, and then the ceviche I plan on making for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I spent like $225. It was a pretty. There was like some like odd expenditures. Like I bought like some snackies and like beer,
odds and ends,
and then like the fucking fabric softener that I wasted like $11 on.
Dude, we're gonna be feeling so.
I know,
comfortable.
we'd be so soft. A bunch of soft boys.
That's what we needed to be softer. As a bunch of fucking betas.
Some fabric softener. It's all the pussy. But yeah, that kind of segues perfectly also into what I was like kind of talk about earlier upstairs. And I was like, we gotta save it for the podcast. This is what sucks about living together and doing a podcast is like every time we talk, we waste content.
There's all kinds of things that we're just like, I guess I'll say it now because I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and I'll forget later if I don't write it down or say it now.
Yeah.
But like, I was listening to something about how America doesn't make much anymore. We're not much of a maker, so this majority of the workforce is turned into service. A lot of it is service. Everybody works service jobs now, and it's kind of like a wear on mental health.
Absolutely.
Because service fucking sucks.
Yeah.
People suck. Having to deal with people in a service industry job, even having to just talk to people and their happiness having any like modicum of effect on your livelihood can fuck you over so hard.
Yeah, it's based off of that's your whole world.
Yeah, just yesterday, we had in my store, we gave a fucking woman. She comes up to the counter, bitches about bread options. We tell her we have cornbread, but it's more expensive than the regular buns you get. She goes, I want the cornbread. I'm not paying for it. Just end all be all of that conversation. And she says this to a trainee of mine. So the fucking trainee comes up to us and she's like, hey, this
I don't
chick...
think we can use the word trainee anymore.
Sorry.
She goes, I'm not
newly
paying.
employed
Yeah.
individual. So she comes up to us and says, like, give this chick cornbread. She scares me. And we're like, okay, like, what happened? We get the whole story from her. She explains what happens, what she said, and we're like, no, like,
We don't give free shit away.
you're not gonna. Well,
To someone who's just being a bitch.
yeah, my big thing was you're not gonna come in here and intimidate somebody into giving you something for free.
And demand.
I'm not gonna reward the behavior of being a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, that's not the last restaurant they're gonna do it at either.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So I said to the person that was banging with me, who happened to be Alexa, just don't give it to her. Like, just don't put it in the bag. Don't say anything. Just give it to them without it. And she decided to go a step further. And instead, she put it in the bag, and she went up to her, and she gave it to her. And she was just like, the cornbread usually costs $2.25. Like, we gave it to you this time, but next time you'll have to pay for it. I feel like a totally reasonable thing to say to somebody, honestly, and more
It's
than
literally
more than
a
generous.
bit of a person saying, you can get your meal, you just gotta pay for it on the birthday boys, of like how it's like almost ridiculous to have to be able to tell people that you have to pay for food you're about to receive.
That you have to pay for.
You want it at a
product.
restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of silly.
So if you want this again, you have to pay for it. That's not at all ridiculous.
Really chaps my ass when I see some chubby fucker stuff in his pockets.
Yeah, full of mints, just because he knows they're free.
But yeah,
Only
so this
take
fuck,
one.
she gives this woman her food, gives her the free fucking cornbread, and this chick just goes ballistic, and it's just like, I don't appreciate your fucking snarky comment or whatever the fuck, your sass.
Disrespect.
Yeah, it's just like going off on her and fucking talking shit. And I'm trying to run food, so I'm like, got plates in my hands and shit. And she's sitting there going like, I'm not above throwing this drink at you. And mind you, this is like some muffin-topped, overweight, like fucking scraggly haired, like fucking
Gnarly,
Kentucky-looking
haggard
bitch with a fucking, just the worst face tattoo I've ever seen in my fucking life. And she's like, I'm not about throwing this drink at you. And she keeps turning back to her like fucking friend, and she's just like, should I throw it? Should I throw it? Should I throw it? And I'm like, if you do, you're not welcome. And she's like, I don't even live here. I'm like, fucking regardless, you're not welcome. Get the fuck out. I was like, you can leave, please. And she then proceeds to throw her drink at fucking Alexa, throws it at her, and it goes, dude, it goes everywhere. I don't know how such a small amount of liquid could have gone.
It was like one of those soda bombs.
It really was. I don't know if she like squeezed the cap and like made sure that it hit the ground, but it was on the walls. It was in everything. Everything that was like a cup had like just soda in it. And like at that point, I followed her out and I was like, "Get the fuck out!" And she was like swearing at Alexa and was like, "Come out here, come fucking face me, bitch. You don't know who you're talking to." And I'm like, there's like literally two like under 5-year-old children sitting by the door. She's like just swearing up a fucking storm. I'm like, there are kids here. Get out!
Yeah, just being traumatized in the front seat.
And she finally fucking leaves, and I stick my head out the door as she's walking around. I'm like, we're gonna throw a $20 charge on your fucking check for that one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she paid cash, so we didn't actually get to do that.
I think that's so funny.
She must have known that was gonna happen or something, because she really lucked out on that one.
She planned it. She throws a lot of sodas.
But yeah, so and she took off, and it was just.
Should I throw it? Should I do it again? I did it 20 minutes ago.
That was that. She was like, "Should I throw it? Should I throw it?" Like she didn't have the balls to just do it on her own. She had to like get the confirmation from her friend, who, by the way, looked scared shitless the whole time. I don't think she was down for
That
what
was
her
not
friend
her
was doing.
Robin. It was
No.
just like a hostage she had pretty much gathered.
Yeah,
probably.
it really felt like she was not wanting to be a part of that situation at all.
She was totally like a different person 30 minutes ago, and was like, "Hey, do you want to go get lunch?" And then turned into that.
And I know it sounds like the total tough guy thing to fucking say, but like because she was a woman, I didn't fucking do anything like physical. But if it was a dude, I would not have hesitated to just fucking side punch them in the fucking skull. I wanted to hit her in the fucking head so hard, or like I had like 2 sandwiches in my hands. I really wanted to just like smash one into her fucking face.
You said you wanted to squirt barbecue sauce.
Yes,
on her.
I was saying. I was surprised Alexa didn't do that. I feel like she should have grabbed a sauce bottle and just fucking sprayed her down with the sweet sauce.
You're trying to
just
start
made
a
of
food
fucking
fight
molasses.
in the restaurant, dude. You wanted a war.
I fucking hate people.
You know what it is? It's hot, dude. It's been hot as fuck lately.
You think that's what it is? It
Yeah,
just drives
no.
people nuts.
Dude, it's just like Florida. That's why Florida's so crazy, is because everybody's so hot.
I get into my car and it consistently says like 109.
Yeah, dude.
It's nuts.
It's been in the hundreds almost every day
My
lately.
balls stink constantly.
The warehouse has been a little rough, not gonna lie, because we have like
Yeah, you don't have like AC, right?
no AC and t-shirt ovens. So
Oh
they're
my
pumping out
God.
like super high heats.
I feel bad for the cooks at my work too. They all have to stand by like grills and toasters
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, no, it definitely is like bad. It's warm, but also you can get into the shade.
That's true.
Like here, I mean, I've been out in the parks a couple times recently where like I'll walk the dog and we'll end up on a spot where we're just baked hot from being in the sun. We'll step in the shade and sit for like 10 minutes. We're totally fine again. It's just so much cooler the second you step into the shade.
It
It's
drops like a full like 15, 20 degrees when you get in the shade.
yeah, the lack of humidity is really like a pleasure.
Right. So we have a what would you call it? A segment, right? Don't we have
Oh
a
yeah,
segment?
yeah. You
Do you
want to
wanna
do
do
that
that
now? No, I was
How
thinking.
far in are we? Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're at like just 69 minutes right now. No. We're about almost half an hour.
Okay,
Um,
that sounds fair.
yeah, do you want to do the game in like 15, 20?
We're gonna have to pass the headphones back.
We'll
and forth
sell
for
it now. So that way, oh yeah, we definitely are going to have to move it back and forth. We picked a bad night to play this game. We'll move it back and forth for each other for sure, but we'll plug it now. And then they'll have to listen later
Sure,
to hear.
yeah.
The game is, the game is called Trailer Trash.
Yeah, we literally came up with that in like 30 seconds.
And it actually, I don't think is anything that you'd assume it is, but it'll be fun.
It'll be.
Or it could be disaster. Who knows? We're doing it
could
for
be
the first
terrible.
time. I like that we're going to do it at the end of the episode so that it could be just hidden very easily if we have to.
It has a bit of a randomness aspect to it that'll make it a surprise for all of us.
Yeah. What are you cooking up tonight, my man, Chef Christian?
Oh, okay. So she sent me this TikTok where somebody makes potato cakes in it with like cheese stuffing.
I love a
It
good
looks
potato cake,
looks
dude.
pretty good, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna attempt to do that.
Hell
I
yeah.
also bought chicken breast and asparagus, but I saw that there's broccoli florets, so you might do that broccoli instead of the asparagus. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna do the potato pancakes, then maybe some chicken breasts, and
Some fucking ceviche.
some sort of veggie. Yeah, and then I'm gonna prep ceviche.
Yeah, that was what I was really getting at. I didn't even think about
yeah.
the whole 4-course meal you were
Sorry,
planning for
sorry,
your
yeah.
girlfriend. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, yeah. So the ceviche
Someone
is like
is
for
a
tomorrow.
man.
So the ceviche is for tomorrow, though. But so like I have to prep up all the fish and fucking cut up and squeeze all the goddamn limes. And
Yeah.
get that shit soaking. It's got to soak for like a good 24 hours, around about.
Totally.
The longer the meat can sit in the citrus, the better.
Yeah. I mean, we just let it sit in there for as long as the ceviche lasts, too.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
just stays cooking.
Yeah, so if you don't know what ceviche is typically shrimp or some sort of fish, and rather than cooking it, you put the raw meat in a citrus juice, such as usually lime juice. You could do orange or lemon if you're a fucking psychopath, and the acids of the citric acid rather breaks down the proteins, and it kills any potential bacteria.
Yeah.
And it makes it fucking delicious.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's like the sickest marinade.
It's like the Breaking Bad of fucking cooking.
Yeah.
It's like chemical
Chemistry.
It's like science. It's crazy.
It's the meth of fish.
It really is. It's delicious.
It also
though.
is pretty addictive.
Yeah, it's really good.
You
I
bought
mean,
3 packs of tortillas.
I don't feel like even my ceviche is that crazy good, but like does well enough. I'd say people like it.
Oh, it's a hit around the house.
I'd say so.
Every single time. It's almost like a holiday.
Yeah, that's what we ate for Christmas because we were supposed to have a turkey, right?
Yeah.
and it didn't end up being defrosted in time because somebody left it outside in the winter to fucking defrost, and it ended up just becoming more frozen. Not us. That was somebody else. A guest of ours was supposed to
Get it
bring
defrosted.
it. Yeah, and it did not happen. So we had ceviche for our Christmas dinner.
And
which-
also, it's kind of colorful at Christmas.
it is. It honestly is kind of Christmas colors too.
We were
It's-
talking about Christmas
It's white, red, and
mushrooms.
green typically. So Christmas. Yeah, we were talking about Christmas mushrooms.
Yeah, dude, crazy shit. There's just so many connections. It's been written about so many times in different kinds of religions about like taking a special trip and hearing a special word from a god, but also just the connections to specifically Christmas. The fact that there's these mushrooms that grow underneath pine trees, and they're underneath there when it rains, almost like a present. And who else wouldn't think that rain is God? Like that is what allows your plants to grow.
Yeah, it
and
determines a lot of your livelihood.
exactly.
in the
So
early
like
days.
you'd think God comes and visits, and then you get all these presents underneath the tree. And when they dried out those mushrooms, they literally hang them on the tree right above, hanging up like ornaments. They were colored red and white, like Santa Claus. And it's just so many fucking crazy connections. The shamans that used to distribute these mushrooms to people literally got like banned from a lot of countries, and the way they would get into people's homes was through the chimney.
Not to tangent real quick.
It's fucking
I want to
wild.
circle back to this conversation.
Oh, I pretty much
watched
got it all out.
I watched a terrifying video on TikTok
Oh my
of this
God.
this kid who was like was on the scale for autism or something like that. Didn't want to go to school. Kept saying he was sick. His mom wanted to make him go. So there was like this abandoned house in the neighborhood, and what he did is instead he went to that abandoned house and like tried to get in like via the chimney,
Oh no.
and he got stuck in the chimney.
God damn it.
And they searched for him for like a full like week or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard
and they
that
never
story
found him.
before.
That's like I'm claustrophobic, so that is literally my biggest fucking fear is getting
the ultimate
stuck in a
nightmare.
small space and not being able to get out and just dying slowly there. That
What-
is
Dude, that
terrifying.
kid just didn't have the balls to cut his arm off or whatever James Franco did.
Yeah, apparently he got stuck like Family Guy style too. He had one arm behind his back and the other one like up against his
Oh
face
my
it was such
God.
a small space.
Talk to the hand.
Yeah. At least I'm like afraid of it enough of that consequence to like not ever
Avoid
get
those
in those kind of
spaces.
spaces.
Yeah.
But like, fuck.
You're also
dude.
not on the
It's-
spectrum.
It's I might be. Who knows? You know, I haven't been tested.
Yeah, I also just kind of assumed. My
Yeah,
bad.
you might have out me, man.
Yeah. You could be a puzzle piece if you want to. Isn't that there?
I remember a big thing in like the autism spectrum, like signs of autism, was like hard time making eye contact, which I used to have a big problem with. I did not like making eye contact with people
Yeah.
while talking to them. It's definitely something I've worked on a lot.
Food service helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're just approaching strangers all day long.
to the point where I almost make too much eye contact with people now. Like I've noticed that people when they have a conversation, they'll let their eyes wander.
Yeah, and
And
you're
stuff like
still
that.
left there staring
And
at
I'm just
them.
Like that fucking bit from Birthday Boys where he's just staring at her and staring her in the eyes. And
if
it's
you
just like
stare them in the eyes, they love it, dude.
eye contact.
Eye contact works every time. And then he just works completely off of that.
Yeah.
So that's your move, huh? But with strangers?
Yeah, it makes them very uncomfortable. I feel like the more you can see them like looking around, trying to look anywhere but at your eyes while you're like just bug-eyed staring them in the fucking face.
Just put some googly eyes on top.
I
And
mean,
you
I feel
can
like
just
it's more
Google them
natural
around
with
head your
you
shake.
because like I'm used to talking to you. I'm comfortable with
Yeah.
you. I can look over here and have a conversation with you still. But like when it's somebody I don't fucking know and I'm not comfortable with them, I'm like,
You're more locked in. So you went the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
no show, no fear, baby.
Hell yeah. What is embrace the meteor? whatever that fucking song is that has a shitty album but really cool intro.
But God, we were talking about Christmas.
Yeah.
So that was a Joe Rogan podcast that was talking.
Yeah,
about
he was
right?
talking about it. He's talked about it 1,000 times. I mean, it just seems like it's fascinating. The fact that so many people believe in that religion that could have been completely based around something that they don't want people to do, taking hallucinogens. Like, the typical Christian zealot isn't, like, out there tripping.
I just don't understand in general, like, the fear of... I mean, I understand it in regards to, like, meth, crack, heroin, cocaine, the ones that are really dangerous for your body. Yeah,
Harmful.
I get that. But, like, the ones that it's like, it just expands your mind. It just makes you weird for a while.
Yeah.
Why do people care? I really can't wrap my mind around why anybody gives a shit if you smoke weed or if you ingest mushrooms or if you drop acid or do DMT or any of that kind of shit. It's like...
What's going to happen?
It's so incredibly hard to have any kind of harmful outcome of that. It's like if they outlawed peanuts because some people are fucking allergic to peanuts.
Which they do at schools.
Yeah, that's true. That's because fucking kids are stupid.
Yeah, no, and honestly, it's because parents stopped giving their kids peanuts, and now kids are developing allergies. I've also heard of parents that have kids with peanut allergies giving them extremely minimal amounts as a baby.
Just regularly.
And, like, slowly building their immune system to it, and then they're no longer allergic to it.
So
and then there's the cool parents that sneak their kids peanut butter and jellies, even though they're not allowed to have them at school.
Just hit them with the EpiPen. Oh, I thought you were talking about, like, the ones that...
No.
Yeah, I remember I had a fucking...
Dosing allergic kids.
I'm gonna murder my child. I had a psychopathic fucking, like... Is before and after care a normal term for people? Do you know what that is?
Yeah. With school and shit. Yeah, before school, after school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had a before school teacher, whatever you want to fucking call her, who was a crazy woman, was an absolute psycho.
You had the bus driver from South Park.
Basically, she had a child who was allergic to, like, extremely allergic to peanuts, which understandably you want to be, like, slightly protective of that scenario. But to the level she would take it was fucking insane, dude. She would not, if you had a peanut butter product on your person and you were in the room, she would go ballistic on you. But also,
she was peanut butter Antifa.
She was.
Like, silence is violence. I'm speaking out against peanut butter.
Antifa. But she fucking... So I remember this. There's one specific scenario I remember where this girl came into class or into the morning at care or whatever you want to call it, and the fucking teacher is talking to her. She gets real close to her all of a sudden, goes
right in her face,
and goes, "Did you have peanut butter this morning?"
Oh my god!
And she's like,
smelled it.
Yeah, she's like, "I had peanut butter and toast for breakfast," and she's like, "Go wash your mouth out," and, like, made her go into the bathroom and wash her mouth out with soap.
Well, like, she cursed.
Like, she swore, to clean her mouth out of any potential peanut, as if her next move was to go and grab her significantly younger child and make out with him with the peanut butter that she had, like, an hour ago that morning. It was insane, dude. I came in with the cheese and peanut butter crackers one time, and she made me throw them away outside.
Oh my god, dude.
She was fucking crazy.
I just imagine that kid has to go to college.
Right?
That kid has to, like, live in the world, go to a bakery at some point, and what if there's peanut butter in there? What if somebody's just having a peanut butter cookie right there? You know? Like, that's insane. You gotta pee again?
Yeah.
This is P3. You're squirming.
It's P2 for the pod. I peed before the pod started.
You did do a pre-pee.
Did a pre-pee. I told you it might be dangerous.
Okay, I will set up the next thing that I wanted to talk about. We're moving up in the rankings of our situations. Both of our jobs have given us new opportunities, and we are shaking and moving, hustling, being a fucking couple of money-making boys, and we're moving up in the world, like, I don't know, Jeff Bezos or something. Not really. That extreme. We're not going to space or anything. But I do. I want to give a shout out to ourselves for both getting new jobs and opportunities. I mean, we're still in the same places, and those places have given us new opportunities to show more, like, responsibility. Show more, like, I don't even know. I guess we're not going to do a good job if I can't think of what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's responsibility, I'd say.
Yeah, at least authority. Accountability. Those are all business words.
So, yeah, absolutely. I feel like I have stepped up a little bit too. At least in like the terms of like keeping the place a little cleaner, trying to reduce costs.
You have the also
kind of stuff.
The label, and I think are people actually going up to you and kind of like?
Nah, it doesn't really affect my interaction with coworkers at all. We're all too comfortable because
much of a family.
We're working with a like a 5-6 person crew right now, so everybody spends like an exorbitant amount of time together, and like it's just there's not a lot of like a hierarchy as far.
It's hard to get in there, especially when you're 5-6 times or late 6 times in a row, and you think you're the boss around town.
Yeah. So can I talk about that?
I mean, you could do whatever you want. You don't even have to say that much. You just it clearly, like, if you're not gonna be a part of the family, get the fuck out of town.
No, so I have a specific issue with I haven't vocalized this thought at all about it.
Okay.
But it bothered me a little bit when I actually had the realization of like, so this guy, let's call him Kyle.
LOL.
Comes in to work for us, and he seems to think he's a fucking like bad bitch. He really thinks he's getting hired to be like, he literally said the other day, I think they're gonna make me a GM soon because they have me traveling around so much. I think they're grooming me for it, which is absurd because the person that hired him has been working at the company for 10 years and didn't achieve GM status until a couple years ago. So he comes in, he really tries to flex those like, I'm in charge, I'm hired for a higher position type muscles, and really tries to spread that idea around.
Has the attitude.
Yeah, he definitely does. But he's also a fucking loser. So he really was trying to make it seem like he was my boss and stuff like that. He was on like a training shift the other day. He was supposed to be closing. And he was like, "This is my training shift. You can leave early if you'd like, because I don't need the help." So I literally had to go outside and call my GM and be like, "Is this guy supposed to be my boss?" 'Cause I really don't think he is, but I need to hear it from you first before I like fucking snap on this child.
Just double checking.
Yeah, and he was like, "No, you're his supervisor.
You've got the pass."
And like, that was awesome. Great to hear. Totally awesome. But at the same time, it immediately made me feel like I was just radiating this fucking this beta energy. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, there's only been women.
It's so bitch to.
Right?
Like, am I allowed to tell this person they're not being...
Right, and I've only worked with women this whole time.
So you're naturally very respectful at jobs in general.
Well, but like every other dude that's worked in this company so far that I've met has been above me. They're all either GMs, managers, or district managers, owners, that kind of thing. Like, they either run a store or run multiple stores. And this guy is the first dude I've met who's not like above me position-wise.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like,
"You little dictum."
I was almost gonna like kowtow to him a little bit.
Oh my god!
And I felt like such a fucking bitch, dude. I feel like such a little bitch. Well, I feel like I'm like
the authority. The authority got a little solidified, right? I mean,
there was no clarification.
There was no clarification.
Now that I've been told like affirmatively
ahead
that
of time,
you are his boss, I'm like, now I know I can be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go do this. Now that I know that, but like, I don't know, man. It made me feel like a little bit of a fucking pussy. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't want to. You're not one to like flex authority if you don't like feel like. I mean, that's my favorite thing about anarchy. Literally, anarchy is nobody has authority above anybody. You don't have to do anything I tell you to. I mean, That's what this podcast is anarchy, in the sense that we just do it whenever we want. We feel free. It's not a fucking contract or an agreement where we feel like we're obligated to by any means. It's just kind of like, you want to do this, I want to do this, let's collaborate and make something cool. And so like, you're not one, I think, to think you're the boss instantly and like you need to tell people what to do. Usually you'll just be like, I mean, it is a little bitch. You will be like, fuck it, I'll just do it and do it probably better. So I'll just let you do a bad job and then come on behind you and do a better job.
That was the thing I was bad about when I was working at Taco Bell, but I was also only 19 when I was doing that.
Are you about to go pee again?
No, I think I need to go get my phone charger real quick.
Okay,
So
go
I can
get
plug
it.
it in because it's on like 2%.
Go get it. Okay.
But yeah, I just I don't know, man. I feel like I should have just slapped my dick in his face and been like, I'm your boss. You don't own me.
You should have, I mean, what, like,
And it wasn't really a fear of stepping on the new guy's toes and pissing him off. I don't really give a fuck about that. It was more, I didn't want to be like, bitch, you don't fucking get to tell me what to do. And then him be like, well, blah, 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 to my boss.
I do.
And then my boss be like, I did hire him to be above you. So I just had to get that confirmation from David to be like, I'm his boss, right? Like, you did not hire him to be above me. And then him being like, yeah, duh. And then I was like, okay, well, now I feel like a big old fucking floppy beef
Why did you even give me
pussy.
the authority then if I'm not going to use it right now, you know?
Because even when I got my evaluation, there wasn't really, he never specifically said like, you're going to be above everybody else. He just kind of was like, I'm giving you a raise. You're taking on more responsibility. He never said like, you're going to be in charge of people kind of thing.
Speaking of charge, go get your charger.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and I'll tell you what the fuck is going on. That's kind of the biggest issue with what's going on in my place is I don't know what the fuck is going on. I've been told by my manager, everybody in the warehouse, people that oversee different parts of it, Evan, you're taking over. How does it feel to be running the warehouse in a week? And like, you're going to be taking over. The owner has not said a word. He has not explained what it's going to be like, what we're doing. Actually, in fact, all he's talked about doing is removing everything out of the warehouse. Like taking everything, all of our shelves, all of our products, everything but supposedly the print shop out. And I'm getting very nervous.
So they're like, how do you feel about running the warehouse? And then you're going to show up one day and it's just going to be an empty building.
Dude,
and they're going to be like, you run this empty space.
Yeah, no, you can run around. You got 20 days to find a new job. Like I have no clue what my future honestly at the warehouse looks like, and I do need to talk about it to my boss, but it's going to be a lot of more responsibility for sure. It's going to be a lot more like, I mean, there's nobody I can go to be like, hey, is this correct? Mm-hmm. It'll be my decision of whether it's correct or not, and I do not like that much responsibility.
I feel like you don't feel like you have that capacity yet, but I feel like you have, from pretty much the point you started at this job, expressed the ability to do all that.
That's literally the reason why everybody's like, Evan, it's yours. Evan, you're going to be taking, because they're like, there's nobody else it could be.
I feel like you've told me like maybe 1 or 2 instances where they were like, you did this wrong. Yeah. And every other thing, it seems like you've really been able to not negotiate your way through any scenario. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing about a job is like, and yeah, you get that boss every once in a while who expects you to be perfect from fucking square one and never make a fucking mistake. And fuck those types of managers. But like, the understanding of you might make a mistake, but how you perform beyond those mistakes is what really reflects. If you do something and somebody says, you did this incorrectly, you need to do it like this from now on, and then you take that and you run with it and you do it that way for the rest of the time you work
and
there,
then they recognize
that is what shows you as a good fucking employee, for sure.
There's so little I could say to complain about Ian, the owner of the place. Mm-hmm. He's been literally nothing but respectful. He's always asked for my opinion. He's given me nothing but raises throughout my time working there. He's always given me more opportunities. He asks for like my input on what to do, and if I say something, he gives me the authority. He trusts me so much, and he is so like good about being a good boss. Like I really have just about no fucking complaints about the man. And it's amazing because he's 26. He's the best boss I've had. in all of my years. I've gotten yelled at, cursed out, fucking called a piece of shit, like all those kinds of things by different kinds of bosses and owners. And he literally is the most respectful, and like you wouldn't think coming from a pretty privileged background as far as I know. I mean, he comes from a pretty good setup, and he's been the most respectful, the most like understanding, and like to be 26 and never raise your voice to an employee. He's just so calm about it. He's like, they can just leave. Get the fuck out.
I
don't want this.
imagine being that age, he probably has a lot of that experience as well as you have, right? Like of like being on similar age levels. He's probably like experienced people.
He talks to me
prejudice towards his age.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his ability because of his age.
Absolutely. They see him as like a young guy that doesn't know what he's doing, and he like does. He totally does know what he's doing. He's really fucking good at doing what he does. And like that's why, and he sees me like that. I mean, the manager, the guy Rob that I'm hoping to come over tomorrow, he is 27, and that's the oldest employee in the warehouse. Like it's amazing that we are a bunch of young dudes building this company up. And so that's been fun, but you know, I also want to be around people again.
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, how you were bitching about service, I said all of those things over and over and over again. For some reason, I want to go back on that beast. Like,
Dude, it's where I work is not the good place for it, and it's
For
sucks.
sure.
But like, I totally know what you're saying. Like working in coffee, having just conversations with people, having
Yeah.
that rapport with customers, like just part of your job is just social, and that's it's just kind of the aspect of it, and that's kind of nice.
and well, I think for my comedy writing, comedy comes from life, and
Yeah,
the different
experience.
characters you can meet at a coffee shop, or just in general being more in a place than a warehouse where I'm just fucking with boxes all day.
But you also definitely have no shortage. Like you're an extroverted person, you have no shortage of going out, doing things, and making those experiences happen for yourself. Whether
I do.
they're in your
I do try to
work
get out
life or
there,
not.
man.
I need to. I feel like quarantine has pushed me back down into my like introverted state, and I need to get back out there again. I need to go to a concert
Yeah.
or like 100 concerts.
Bust out of your fucking shell.
Go to some bars again.
Yeah,
Talk to some people.
for sure.
Got to get it going.
Well, and it also is
it's a
one of those
muscle.
things
You
where
gotta
it
work that
doesn't
out.
feel like you never know. You don't set out with a goal of like, I'm gonna meet these people, or I'm gonna listen to this song, or
No,
go
it's
to
just
this
being
bar.
open to a life experience.
Just going out, and
Yeah.
then sometimes I'll just fucking drive until I find a interesting place, and I'll pull over and see what that bar's like, or I'll stop at a park, or you know, I definitely think that like Denver has so much for us to do. Let's go fucking find it, man.
And we're at the perfect age to experience it all too.
Oh yeah, it would be so much creepier if we were going out at 30 and
We're not
60.
Don't bookmark it at 30 because we're not that far off. We could be doing this podcast by the time we hit 30.
I hope we are. Dude, I listened to podcasts. I listened to 1,000 fucking podcasts. But I listened to one today of one of the Denver comics who's been doing it since 2014. Since we were in high school, he's been doing this.
Wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Could you imagine us having that?
Oh,
like
God.
throughout all
That's-
of our...
That's since we graduated high school.
Yeah.
Gross. Or since.
We left high school.
Yeah, we got out of it at least.
Do you want to try? Oh wait, I have so many things on here, dude. I swear we could do another fucking episode. I got so much shit on here, on this clipboard. Do you want to try the game?
Yeah.
Trailer trash.
Absolutely.
I really do too.
I'm excited.
Okay,
I think
so
I'm at the perfect level of like had a couple beers. And
A
then
drinky
shot of
winky?
tequila. Yeah.
okay, so the way the way the game is gonna work is we're gonna play like a trailer for a movie, but with no sound other than the background noise and the music. We're gonna come up with our own trailers for the movie that maybe we wouldn't want to see, but could be a movie, or maybe should never be a movie, or maybe would be a great movie. Who knows? Like, it's just our own. We've never done it before, so it's just kind of like a roll of the dice.
We really didn't plan it out very much at all. We didn't set much rules to it.
And we
gonna be pretty
wrote down a
freeform.
bunch of random words to pick from.
Was it words? Are there names?
There's words, names,
How
all
many were
kinds
drawn?
of ideas.
Should we
I'd say
we
like
draw,
a good handful each, and then you can play
take
with
a couple
whichever
and
you
just
want.
go with it? Okay.
Yeah. And then as the music the music goes, we're just going to have to do the trailer.
What's gonna be weird about it is that we won't be able to, to hear the trailer as the other person is pitching it.
We literally only have one pair of headphones.
Yeah.
So whoever's doing it needs to.
It'll be kind of fun,
Really?
actually, honestly, to guess what kind of music was
Movie it
playing
is?
based on what the person does.
I should have been pulling this up 2 seconds ago. What am I doing?
Yeah. Are you about to start? Are you going to start first? Because I got to peek.
Okay, I will go first.
I almost wanted to say, because I was telling you earlier how I wanted to make a game out of like doing shots for something on the podcast. I almost want to make it like do a shot for every time I take a fucking piss on the podcast. But I feel like that would just be a feedback loop that would end in my death. You know?
Yeah, no, I think it would just lead to you going to the bathroom a lot more.
Right.
Until you had to puke.
Yeah.
Dude, what if we had done a podcast that night in St. Pete?
What?
That night in St. Petersburg, Florida, where we partied till the sun comes up, and you puked in the elevator, and you fell.
Yeah.
You collapsed into the elevator and puked.
Not only did I puke in that elevator, but I headbutted it.
Oh yeah, you went in and then slid across it till you found the other side of the elevator.
I have never collapsed from drinking like that before in my entire life.
It was literally like the
And
door
or since.
opened and you were like, "All right, body in," and
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
put
I
it.
tried to take a step forward. My vision and balance disappeared. I could not see, could not feel, like I just felt like I was in zero G's. I fell forward and my top of my head just cracked against the inside of the elevator. I am so amazed that there wasn't some sort of lobby camera that was facing that, and that didn't end up on like YouTube or something like that. Because it was one of the most like, just, I could see that being like a fucking like video on YouTube of like drunk man passes out in elevator. Like it just was so goofy. And you had the genius forethought to like go to the receptionist and be like, "I need a bag. This kid's gonna spew."
I saw it in your face. You turned pale. It was gnarly. Okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna shoot my shot. See
All
where
right.
it goes. Oh, I got 2 really good words. So we wrote down a bunch of random words on these scraps of paper, and we're trying to make the trailer out of those random words we got. Here we go.
I got like all names.
Are you ready to feel? Are you ready to smell? In this medieval film noir, featuring Jeffrey Epstein, and Andrew Cuomo. On an island looking for coconuts. They come across a village. There's a plot twist. There's not a village.
Is this the Green Knight? What is this?
Translated completely into Chinese. An instant cult, as in Epstein cult classic. The Island. All right. Someone's gonna watch that. That sounded pretty good. All right,
We're creating movie scripts as we go here.
That wasn't bad, right? I mean, Andrew Cuomo and Jeffrey Epstein.
So did
It's
you
a
know
medieval film noir.
Did you know what music you were clicking on when you clicked it, or you just picked a random?
I just
one?
picked a random one. Do you?
So how many cards did you actually read off of there?
Just about all of them.
I have like mostly names. Can I redraw
Yeah,
a little bit?
that's a lot of what I wrote. You got a few directors there.
Yeah.
You've got some producers. You got all kinds of. Maybe you should be. I know exactly which one you need. All right, you ready?
Oh God.
I'm gonna get this music playing in just a sec. 3. Coming to a theater near you.
Brought to you by David Lynch and Taika Waititi. Racial tensions are high. The KKK is making their move. The target, Washington, D.C. Nazi scientists have been resurrected as zombies to create a shrink ray. The target. Washington, D.C. has been shrank. The capital is in your backyard. Secret Service agent, starred by Jim Carrey, races to find a solution. Nuclear warheads are gonna bust. Next summer. Honey, I shrunk the capital.
Oh my god, that was perfect.
Dude, the music was so good for that. I loved it.
Oh my god, this is a fun bit then. We'll have to do this again. That's hilarious. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, I'd see that movie. Give me like fucking 420 tickets, dude.
I honestly, I haven't listened to a single episode we've done because I've been terrified to hear my own fucking voice in this shit. I want to listen to this one just to hear yours.
Oh yeah, to see what it sounded like.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. We also plugged it earlier, so if they didn't wait to hear that, they fucking missed their nut.
Shout out to the 2 people that waited to the end of that episode to listen to that bit.
And it'll probably be you and me. The music's still playing. We're still doing it. This next one was called "We Need a Hero."
There were a couple moments that were perfect with like the music dropping for the trailer. It was great.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll definitely do that one again. That was fun. I wanted to talk about our team name the other night because I don't think we brought it up when we played Catan.
I don't even remember what it was.
We were Stinky and The Stain.
And we got spanked too.
Oh, we did.
We were the
we had to come up with a team name originally, and it was
we were the only team too, right?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Everyone else was just their name.
Yeah, everybody else was solo.
And it's not like anybody called us by our name.
Nope, not a single time.
But
we kept calling back to it.
At first, we were like, we're definitely Pinky and the Brain. I mean, that was the first duo that we were like, this makes sense. Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we were like, all right, well, what else are we? So then Stinky and the Stain came up. And I swear you looked at me and were like, I think we know which one's Stain. And I was like, yeah. You did say your balls stink today, so it all works out. But we got our asses handed to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the worst spanking I've ever had in Catan. And,
Yeah.
To preface this,
It was two brains divided.
yeah, we've both played Catan a pretty good number of times now.
Yeah.
I'd say enough to be pretty familiar with
I'm
the
a big
game.
fan of the game.
And we are definitely the household champions, you and I.
I mean, oh yeah.
And we did so poorly together. It was just we just really wanted to be desert kings.
I know. We
And
tried
your
to take the
fucking
desert.
wife.
She trolled us good, dude. She set
Your
up
queen.
like she gentrified the desert before we could like have our own private land.
Yeah.
Our own-
She cut us off from being desert kings just to spite me. Solely to spite me.
I know.
No other reason.
And we were stoked on it just for like the fact that it was worth really nothing.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
having the desert is kind of the worst.
Yeah,
and
it
we
was-
wanted to
The
have that
whole
our
joke
kingdom.
was that we were gonna circle one of the deserts
Yeah.
with cities, and
Yeah.
literally the desert in Catan is the only the only land space that is worth literally nothing. So that was the whole joke. We were just going for that bit the whole time because we knew we weren't gonna win like halfway through the game. And she couldn't even let us have that. So cruel.
Yeah, she trolled us, dude. I thought our joke of wanting the desert only became better when Laura didn't let us have the desert.
It made me feel a lot less bad about showing the plane crash bit or the trailer thing to her.
Oh,
on
I
the last
know.
pod.
Dude, she's so crazy about it too. She has to fly tomorrow. She's coming back.
Yeah?
She'll be back in the studio, back in the house. We'll hear all about North Dakota and terrible family members, all the homophobia she's been dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently she was with one of the family members, and she heard like they were walking by some chairs, and Laura like they were rainbow colored, and Laura pointed them out. She was just like, "I like those chairs," and the woman goes, "I don't like rainbows." Like,
Aren't
clearly,
they Christian? Aren't they religious?
yeah.
Christians are supposed to love rainbows.
Dude, it's clearly like such an unnecessary hate for a symbol that doesn't even actually mean anything. I mean, like, rainbows aren't everything. Lucky Charms aren't gay.
I mean, and that also goes back to the same thing I was saying about fucking drugs
Could
earlier.
you imagine the parent that's like, I'm not letting my kid eat those rainbows. I know what makes those marshmallow puffs make my marshmallow puffs are turning the sun's gay.
Lucky Charms turn my kid into a queer. I gotta grab another beer.
Yeah,
Want
go
one?
for it.
Do you need one?
Yeah, I'll take one more. I'll finish this. I got a couple little more, like just a few more on the list. I do think it was a bummer that we lost at Catan, but I did have a fun time playing. And I think that our biggest issue was that we went up against somebody that knows what they're doing rather than Laura. Oh, Laura's an easy opponent. She's dumb.
Well, also, like, I don't know if you remember, or I mean, you clearly remember the night better than I did. I was pretty drunk. But I, the whole time, was screaming how Jasmine was undoubtedly the biggest threat at the table.
And she killed it.
And nobody wanted to listen to me.
We completely ignored you.
And she ended up winning.
She did end up taking that game.
You know, Alexa was actually, like, second. She needed one more city, and she would have won.
No shit.
Yeah, she was very close to winning herself.
God damn it.
Isn't that wild?
Dude,
She had literally never played the game before.
we got spanked by a couple Hispanic
Spanked.
women.
How we weren't even that close, right? We were like what, 6
Dude.
points, something like that.
Settlers Catan, that should be a white man's game. Like, taking over places and ravaging their resources?
Yeah, we should be experts.
Oh, and we got slaughtered by a couple of Latina babes.
Apparently, her boyfriend did not appreciate that she was coming over to our house, and I never found out why.
Oh, really?
Oh no, actually, I did find out why. It was just because he was mad she was leaving him home alone.
Oh, well, that's cute. Was he worried that there was going to be two robbers and one of them was going to be Joe Pesci? And he started preparing for robberies with little army men and fake sounds on the TV. Did he get lost
The wet bandits are
in
coming.
New York? Did he meet Trump?
Dude, did you hear the whole thing about how, like, the Canadian like TV version. They
Yeah.
cut Trump out of the movie, and he was like really mad about it.
He got so upset, dude. That's like my favorite part about Trump getting upset is like the trolls, like it's the hands thing, you know. Like he cared about the smallest, which is a pun on his hands, but the littlest minute things that really didn't matter. He seemed to get out of hand.
It baffled me how he both fed off the fact that people hated him, but also couldn't stand the idea of people not liking him.
Yeah.
It was like it's such a dichotomy of how you feel about people's opinions of you. Like, how can you thrive off being a nationwide troll and also care so much about what people
When
think
people
of you?
don't like you.
Yeah, it's so weird. I didn't get that. That was like the most confusing thing about his presidency to me.
I struggle. That reminded me of something completely different. I struggle with when I walk down the road or in a grocery store or whatever. I like to smile at people, and I like a smile back, and it usually normally happens. Like no complaints. Most people are friendly, but the masks really were a bummer with it.
Oh yeah,
and
I
then
know what you mean.
I was outside recently, and like I was walking by this lady who was walking her bike, and I smiled at her just like we're walking by. I got the puppy, like I just normal smile and human interaction, and she was not smiling. And then when she walked by, I heard because her tire was flat, and she was just walking her bike all sad. So I just kind of gave her a big old smile, like, ha ha ha, look at what happened to you. And she was like, that's why she made such a negative face to me. I was like, oh man, I look like a dick there.
I kind of had a weird interaction today at the store. Not weird negative, weird positive in that regards, where like I went into the King Supers and
I'm opening this beer an hour 11 into it.
I didn't even do it into the mic. I'm such an idiot.
That's a rule.
I went to the King Supers, and just to preface this, at the time, at this moment in recording, the mask mandate in Denver has been lifted, so there is no mask requirement. And I went into the store not wearing a mask. Feel how you feel about that. I don't really know or care. But there was some people in the store wearing masks, some not, obviously.
It's fucking freedom to have the choice.
Yeah. And
that's my opinion.
Yeah. And I walked past a girl, like one of the first people I walked by, and she was wearing a mask. I smiled at her, and I the same thing. I do the same thing to strangers in public.
Yeah, it's just like good humans.
And I expected it to be like maybe like a kind of whatever response. She full on like had a conversation with me. She was the first person that complimented me on my vote for Pedro shirt.
Hey, you had 3 compliments in one grocery
weird.
store on that shirt.
This is part of a Halloween costume.
That's funny. And but what was the conversation about?
You are on smoking or non-smoking. How can I help you?
Oh my gosh, I was wondering what you're doing, because I'm coming.
Ooh.
I bet you are.
Stop.
That wasn't even me. Are you on your way? You're on your way?
Yep, I'll be there in like 15 minutes max.
Awesome. Okay.
Drive safely.
See you soon.
Check twice for motorcycles.
Bye.
Bye.
She wanted to be off so fast.
Yeah. I want to call random people eventually. We should do like prank phone calls or something. Just call a business. Order like a large pizza with nothing on it. What do you mean? Well, I want pepperoni on neither
cheese,
side.
No sauce, no dough.
My dad used to go to Burger King, and I want, or other places. He couldn't do it to Burger King because they actually had a vegetarian burger. But he would go, I want a vegetarian burger, plain, no pickles, no like he would say the whole entire list of everything without just listing. I wanted no of everything on the burger. Mm-hmm. It was stupid. Yeah, dad jokes. What were we talking about?
Oh, I was just talking about the fucking King Supers thing.
Oh, yeah. You got in a conversation with a random
Yeah,
lady.
it was totally just like this girl was really nice. I was just like, I really like your shirt.
Good
Like,
human
it was
interactions.
a great movie.
All from a smile.
Yeah, And that happened multiple times too. Like I apologized to a dude because I got in his way and he was trying to look for produce, and I was like, sorry. He's like, no, you're all good. And he's like, dig the shirt, by the way. It was totally great. I feel like things are really finally starting to go back to normal a little bit, just in time for the fucking Delta variant that's come out now. That seems
Delta
to be
virus
ravaging the fucking country. It's really awesome.
My dad actually has a friend that's coming down with it. It's a gnarly thing, I guess. I don't know, man. Variants were inevitable. We were talking about variants forever. I think it's ridiculous for anybody to be surprised.
It's what you expect with any virus. They just their whole thing is they evolve very rapidly and mutate.
And I think that so many people are either vaccinated or had it before. And, like, the data that goes off of people that have had COVID before or that are vaccinated.
Yeah, where do we stand on that, having experienced and had it already?
Dude, it's a really... I mean, I could go off on this. It's a disservice.
Go off, King.
It's a disservice to people. So many fucking people that got... I mean, if you want to call the people who died of COVID, what about the survivors of COVID? Call them victims at least. Like, we caught the virus that did ravage the planet, right? We have so little information being put out about those who have had COVID and their, like... immunity based off of like versus those who have not had COVID at all. Every single fucking chart, every article, everything is vaccinated versus unvaccinated. It's not
Vaccinated
had COVID
versus
or even just had
infection,
COVID versus not had COVID.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to know what natural immunity is.
They're pushing the vaccines. It makes sense, but
It does, and it is the data that confirms what they want to happen, so I understand why they would prefer that. I mean, they don't want people to get COVID.
And
they don't want people to think, oh, fuck it, I'll just get it, and then I'll be fine.
I think we've already touched on your particular concerns regarding the vaccine, right? And like your...
My heart for sure is a thing. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm skeptical, like, in general, of Big Pharma. I've always been. And I'm not anti-vax in the sense that I have every fucking vaccine in me that's ever been required. So, like, I have all of them. I'm not anti-vax. I haven't gotten this one yet because I'm just fucking trying to realize what state I'm even in. I don't know what people are that already had COVID. I don't know where we stand in that realm of what is our risk versus what does it mean to get it. I mean, dude, I don't want to fucking sound insane, but like science isn't the first one is the best.
No, definitely not. It's usually very much the opposite.
I
think we touched on this exact thing before, but like they used to prescribe cigarettes as a medicinal thing before they found out
the first
they caused lung cancer.
iPhone wasn't the strongest or the most efficient. We will get the best vaccine that they know does way better than anything we have right now, just because that's how science works.
Coming out with like, this is a potential risk. This is a potential risk for this one. Like they've all. Can you hear that?
No. I was trying to get you to talk a little more.
Oh, am I away from it?
You're just a little fuck.
Sorry.
You're okay.
I worry about being too loud on it. Is my issue.
Yeah. Well, this isn't even a screaming subject at this point. We just got really serious there in the end.
Yeah, God, this is such a diversive topic. It's so dangerous to tread on these grounds. Regardless of where you stand, people are going to find an issue with what you have to say.
You know what it is, though? It's our medical privacy. It's our medical information.
And we're putting it out there for everybody, too.
For sure. But in the sense that, like, people don't get judged for their mental issues. Mm-hmm. People don't get judged for their medical decisions as far as they choose not to have alcohol because it damages their body in a specific way. There's like the idea that like self assessment and kind of like deciding at all for yourself has gone completely out the window is insane to me. I think we should be able to make like decisions for ourselves. I think it'll get to the point where like they'll literally say like, if you want to live longer, you shouldn't gamble. If you want to live longer, you shouldn't drink alcohol. If you want to live longer, you should. I mean, we all are aware of these things, but COVID was such a threat that they were able to implement all kinds of different restrictions and laws, and people got so serious about it because, I mean, there was literally people screaming, "You're killing grandmothers by going to a comedy show," but going to a protest was completely like, of course, yeah, no, that makes sense. It became a political thing. No matter, it was ridiculous on both sides. People made COVID an illness, a sickness, a political thing.
And I would like to preface this also with, we went to, we for the most part did everything we were supposed to. We were,
Dude,
we were wearing our masks. We were washing our hands. We were
so locked down.
We were not going to functions and social events and public spaces. We went to one party.
One party.
And we found out like that week that somebody who attended that party had COVID. We went, we got tested. We tested positive, unfortunately. And we did the we quarantined. We stayed home. We didn't leave the fucking house. We even wore masks in our home to preserve the safety of our other roommate who had not gotten COVID yet. And like, I just don't want this to come across as like we don't care, right? But like we did everything we were supposed to once we found out. We didn't go fuck around and try to spread it around and shit. I feel like, but just the fact that we don't want to get the vaccine yet is, I feel like that's,
you're in the boat of almost 40 to 50% of the country. Most of the country hasn't gotten it. And then if you want to look at the stats of the people who didn't get the second shot, because most people only got one. Like, that's a staggering data. Like, the amount of people that only got one shot and then just either put off the second one or decided they didn't want to get it or whatever. Like, yeah, like, I do think that, like, we are vaccinated for 1,000 different fucking things right now. We have all kinds of things in us. We also have a level, according to the CDC, of 8 months. 8 months of immunity. So even right now, we're in there, like, guidelines of you're still, as far as data shows, you're safe. It is weird, in my opinion, to make your medical decision for somebody else. And I do understand the whole collective community. I mean,
immunity and all
I'm so in favor of helping out everybody that I possibly could. But, like, I just, am a skeptical fuck. I'm so skeptical of everything. I'm disillusioned. I'm a crazy person. I do accept that. I don't think that, like, I think the most logically or normal, but fuck it. That's what artists and creative people do.
Well, and also,
we're
like,
not sheep.
People, I don't know. People talk about it in such cement terms, and it's so not. It's so nebulous. There's so many underlying factors that can have effects that we don't know about, and it's unfair to say, like, to put it into two boxes of, if you're willing to get the vaccine, you're a good person. If you're not, you're a bad person. That's just, it feels a little unfair.
I completely agree.
And if it came down to the point where, like, I got COVID a second time, I would do the same. I would do the quarantine. I would be willing to stay, because I do care about other people. I do care about the safety and well-being of strangers. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to be the immediate cause of anybody else.
And when we didn't have to, we would wear them outside sometimes at parks. Mm-hmm. We wore masks just being in Denver 100 times more than half the people did in Florida. Like, let's be honest. Like, and we're even finding out that masks might not even be the solution. We're finding out all kinds of different things because it was such a new thing. Like, you can't expect anybody to have, especially us idiots, understandings of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, if you're a frequent listener of this podcast, you should know by now that we're idiots, dude. You're not intelligent folks.
No.
By any terms.
No.
We're not, I don't think we're like morons or rubes by the general populace standpoint.
Maybe.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Fuck it. Who cares if we are? I mean, we have fun. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I don't think that we're not, we're very middle of the road, I think, on and as far as like intelligence goes. And there's just it's hard to weed out the information.
We as a generation feel confused in so many different directions. We're getting pulled and bought and advertised and used as data in so many different ways.
And there's a lot of things we don't get choices on. We didn't get a choice on getting COVID. We got COVID. That was, I mean, we did have the choice to not go to that party. We didn't know.
It was literally...
We didn't have the choice of getting COVID or not. We do have the choice of getting the vaccine or not. And whether or not that affects, like, obviously I have a lot less to worry about. I don't have a fucking heart that's ready to pop at any moment. But, I mean, I feel like you have a very reasonable reason for not wanting to get the fucking vaccine. Because your heart already is compromised.
Israel was the very first country to mass distribute the vaccine to all of their citizens. They made it widely open and they gave large amounts to anybody and everybody. And
I gotta go get her.
Oh, well, shit. You're going to make me hang on this alone? They were the first country to really put it out there. And very few people were paying attention to the articles coming out that were talking about the heart issues in young teenage males that, I mean, even if the issues aren't severe, I have already severe issues. And it worried me. I mean, heart issues are something that I pay attention to. So.
Oh my gosh, you can tase me on the podcast.
Oh my God. Yeah, do you want to get out of all this crazy shit?
Yeah, let's get out of this conversation before we get ourselves in a hole.
No, I feel like we got our own shit out that we needed to. Okay, Alexa, you're about to tase Christian?
No, you can't tase me. I tase you.
No, I just want to.
It's like 3.
Oh, it's real. It's a real taser.
3 inches bigger than my other one. Some guy made a comment about how I'm 6'3".
It looks like it's bigger than most cell phones. That thing is massive.
This might be bigger than my penis.
Feel how just like.
Oh my God! It's
we
so
did set
light.
up a mic for you too if you want.
It has no weight.
Really?
Oh.
Is that not okay with you?
But I accidentally hit myself with that earlier today. I meant to talk to you about that. Yeah, so it's got those strips down the side there.
Yeah.
Those are definitely part of the electrical current, and I definitely was holding on to that when I fired it, and it shot up my entire arm, up to my I felt it in my pectoral. It was intense. It was pretty painful too. My thumb was numb for an hour afterwards.
No shit.
So, you want to do it now? Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna need the mobile mic, I think, for it.
Oh, dude, that one will pick it up too.
I'm sure. Where should we do it? The thigh? I'm scared to do it in the.
I'm so freaked out. I didn't expect this.
I am honestly
we were getting
scared
so
to do
serious,
it in the
and
chest.
now we're just gonna tase Christian. I'm so glad.
It was so intense on my arm that I'm afraid to do it on the chest. So I don't feel like we should do it on the chest.
Yeah, do it on your arm.
Cannot be used on human body for
Yeah.
more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, it says do not put it on a human for 5 seconds.
Oh my God, that thing's a lethal
You
weapon.
gotta do it in here.
You're gonna tase? You gonna tase my boy? All right. What has he done to deserve this? Let's at least come up with something. Why? What has he done? What did you do? You broke the tip jar again?
I did break the tip jar.
All right,
I was
you deserve to
45
be
minutes
tased.
late to work.
You're belligerent.
God, are we gonna do it? We're gonna do it right here. Please don't hold it.
Okay,
I just want you to poke me with it.
so
Get him. Oh my
so
God.
Scared.
so it's gonna
I don't need a demo. I don't need a demo of it.
So we're gonna be
She's getting so close to him.
I kind of want you to be firing it already and just kind of prod me with it.
Okay.
Like a cow. I don't want it to be against me when you fire it off. Not really.
Oh my God.
Wait, I need to hold it with some meaning.
Alexa's got it fucking she's about to stab him with it.
This will probably pick it up.
Okay, ready?
All right.
You keep getting it so close to me. It's terrifying.
You're ready.
I'm not ready.
She's giving you butterfly kisses with
kinda
it.
wanna
Just
just
get
do it to
hovering it
myself
right above.
almost.
Oh, I gotta do it.
Oh, Alexa definitely has to do it.
Don't move.
All right, I'll do a countdown.
If you
Let me do a
hold it on
countdown.
me, I swear.
Let
to
me do a
God.
countdown.
Countdown.
3, 2, 1.
Oh God!
That wasn't.
That wasn't as bad as when I grabbed it. That wasn't as bad as when I grabbed it.
That was pretty good though.
Did they stay hot?
Jeez.
No, I don't
So
think
what do
so.
you think? Could that take somebody out if I held
Did you?
it?
Where did you feel it? You felt it in your leg and shit? Does it travel at all?
It definitely wasn't as widespread as it was when I grabbed it earlier. So that wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I definitely blew it out of
I
proportion
love
for
that you just
myself.
got tased and you're like, it wasn't that bad.
It's not my first time being tased now, by any stretch of the word.
Jeez.
How about this one just to taste?
Yeah, well, there's no other way to end the
I
podcast. That
almost feel
sounds
like we
pretty
should do
good.
it again just to.
I know, I think so too. Like, let me like.
Oh
get that.
shit, he
Should I be
wants.
standing?
Well,
Should I
That
be
was a
standing
tease.
for
You
one?
want another one? You want it to be real.
I'm scared. I wanted to.
I need to know if this is gonna work.
I want it to be good.
You got to
content.
test it out,
I wanna be
Alexa,
good-
Right. Let's
to make
So
sure
are
that
we
you
doing-
could really
Should we
defend
do
yourself.
torso now? Should we do torso?
I'm scared to do it to you there.
No, do it on your arm. Do it on your
Oh,
bicep.
let's do
I'm gonna do it on the arm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's farther from the
So
heart.
you want a little bit more?
Keep it away from the heart.
Is this on? Is it on?
Wait.
Okay, how about I
Yes,
just hold it,
it's on.
go, and you move when you're done.
Are
Okay?
you fucking serious?
Put the mic to faces.
Yeah, well, don't move instantly.
Are you gonna hold this? Or am I gonna hold
I can
this?
hold it for you.
Wait.
Through the cardigan?
You gotta
Put
fucking
the
talk
mic
into
to your
the mic.
faces.
Alright, I keep forgetting. Through the cardigan?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, ready?
Oh God, that was worse.
That one was so much less. That one hurt more.
I really went in for that one.
She
When
really
it-
pressed it into
Yeah,
me.
when it
Oh.
muffles, so you can't hear it at all.
See, you got in there. You feeling awake? We should do that on the beginning of the
That'll
episode.
definitely get somebody away from you at the very least. They
Yeah.
will not. Oh, it feels like. Oh, it kind of feels like you ever like touch something that's like hot for like a second.
Oh,
You get that kind of like.
afterburn?
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling on my arm now. Ooh,
Damn.
it's a little spicy on my arm.
Well, there's no, dude. That's the ultimate ender. I mean, I
feels
don't
like a
think we could
fucking-
outdo that. You got tased twice now.
That feels like a bubble of love sponge.
What is
Wait,
that?
Bit.
Sixth time getting taken?
I don't know anymore.
XK99, the buzz.
Dude, the movie bit, great. I loved it. We
Hell
should do
yeah.
that- We should make that a more regular thing. I like that a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll do that one again. We'll probably get less political. We got very political
we
in
should
this one.
probably avoid that kind of topic subject from now on.
And just play fun trailer games.
I think it's just the most important disclaimer we need is that we
don't think we're correct.
We don't think we're right in any scenario. We
No.
just don't know what's going on.
We're disillusioned and lost, and this
And-
podcast is hopefully a way for us to find ourselves.
And we also, I think, for the most part, care about most other people.
We fucking love people, dude.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing to go off of.
Let's end that on we love people.
Yeah, we love you all, especially if you're listening to this podcast. We love you.
Thank you for listening to Smoking or Non-Smoking. Get fucked!